everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Cheyenne with the Rosevine Cottage Girls. Today we are going to cover some really quick growing seeds that you can start now to feed your families. There are a lot of things that you can plant that are really quick growing that are going to give you a turnaround quite quickly. Some of my favorites would be carrots, and they come in all kinds of colors and shapes and sizes. Baby carrots, which you harvest them sooner than you would a full-size carrot, are going to give you food quicker, but you're going to lose a bit of the amount that you would normally get if you'd let them grow to full size. We're trying these black carrots this year. I've never done them before, but I'm really excited. They're from Asia. Really beautiful variety. Another great one would be kale. Kale can hold up to some quite cold conditions. So even if you're in a colder zone up north, where down south we're already in the 80s, so we're looking at putting in some more warm loving crops. You can go ahead and put in things like lettuce and kale and root vegetables. Root vegetables can go in as soon as your soil is ready for it can be worked. They can stand up to quite a bit of cold, and if you need to, you can cover them with row covers. You can go out right before dark and put just a blanket over the soil to keep it a little bit warmer. The goal is to keep your soil from doing a hard freeze. Another great thing to plant now is Chinese cabbage. These grow really fast. These are dwarf pak choy. They can be harvested at 2 inches tall. We've actually got quite a bunch of them out in the garden right now, and they'll be ready to go really, really fast. Another great things to plant are radishes. We've got white radish. These actually we bought because if you let them go to seed around your squash and zucchini, they help to repel your squash bugs. But they're also really tasty. So we've planted quite a bit of these. We're going to plant them up the rows between our squash and zucchini. We may not let them go to seed. We may end up eating them. It just depends. And then we've got some early scarlet cloves. There are some very large varieties of radish that are going to take longer to grow, but if you stick with the smaller varieties like the scarlet clove or anything that's smaller, you're going to get a turnaround pretty quickly. Kohlrabi. These can be planted every 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks before the last spring frost, and then 2 to 4 weeks before the your first fall frost. So you can plant them really quickly for a great turnaround. These are new to us, but we're trying them this year. This variety is actually from 1860, but they're really beautiful, and they're quite fast growing. Peas. Peas are something that can hold up to a fair amount of cold. Obviously you can't put these in when you're still getting hard freezes, but we've had these out during frost before, and I mean we put them in. We're in Tennessee, and I think we're zone 7. Could be wrong about that. I'll have to look again. But we put these out in February, and they're doing just fine. You're going to need a lot to feed your family. So whatever you think you're going to need, a fair rule of thumb is to double it, if not triple it, because it does take a hefty amount of peas to feed yourselves. These are English peas. Snow peas, same thing. They're really cold hardy. We've got quite a bit down there. Dad's the only one that eats them, but we've put these in this year, and they are doing really well. They're actually taller than the English peas that we put in at the same time. Cauliflower, broccoli, your typical cold weather crops are going to be able, especially if you're up north and you're still getting colder weather, are going to go in well now. And they're pretty fast growing, so you're going to get food pretty soon. This is a Walton 29, an heirloom from 1954. It gets 48-inch green heads with abundant shoots and it's pretty cold tolerant. This is a purple of Sicily cauliflower, and the fruit off of it, heads come off of it at 2 to 3 pounds. And I just am obsessed with the color. That's why we originally got it. So it's got a bit of a sweet flavor, but it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm really excited to see this out in our garden. Cucumbers. Cucumbers grow pretty fast. You need to trellis, well, you can get away with not trellising them. I would recommend trellising them because the fruit can be damaged on the ground. They are also susceptible to things like squash bugs and stink bugs and even Japanese beetles. But if you can get around those, they grow really fast and they're quite prolific. I prefer pickling cucumbers. It's just me. We've actually got three different types of cucumbers going in this year. One of them is a White Wonder. This is an heirloom, but it's a non-GMO. But I thought it was really unique looking, and so I picked it up. We've also got just an heirloom pickling cucumber, and I don't have it with me, but a crystal apple cucumber. We're also planting beans now. Well, some of our beans we're planting now, which would be our bush beans, because they can handle a little bit more cooler weather. Obviously, these are not going to handle frost well, so avoid planting them when you are still getting frost. I think we are 2 weeks out from our last frost date, so we've already started our bush beans in pony packs like this. These are going to produce a little bit faster than something like a pole bean because they are much smaller, but they're not going to produce quite as much as your pole beans. These are Romas. They're the nice fat beans. I love those. Now, these ones are really new to us. I'm a little obsessed with purple things this year. I'm not really sure why, but I think they're called Blahil. I probably butchered that, so if you know the pronunciation, tell me in the comments. But they have these beautiful purple pods. They stand tender even when they're really big, and it's a flavorful German heirloom. So I'm really excited to see how these do. Pole beans, period, they grow really fast. Pole beans are definitely going to need to be trellised somehow. We grow them on cattle panels. You can grow them on a fence. You can grow them on a TP type arbor. We don't have luck with those because we get really bad straight line winds here, and it tends to just blow them over. Greens, microgreens, salad mixtures, these are all going to do really well in cooler temperatures, and they grow really fast. We're growing butter crunch, romaine, musculin, and this beautiful green that's called something like an orga. I always say it wrong, but it's really gorgeous. It's an Aurora mix from Baker Creek. This is new to us. If we could keep the chickens out of it, that would be great, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's still got my purpley, pinky tones that I'm obsessed with this year. And it's got these beautiful wide leaves. All of these are going to do really well. You can just clip a piece a little bit off, a little leaf at a time. Don't take the whole thing or you're going to kill the plant. But if you take a leaf or two for a while, you're going to be eating salad really fast and continue until the plant matures. If you live somewhere where it's already quite warm, it's best to plant these in the shade. We've got ours in the sun right now. We're getting ready to put another bed into the shade more so that we'll have lettuce further into the year. Another great quick growing option would be to do onions. Now, typically onions take, I don't know. So typically onions take a bit of a while to actually be ready to harvest, but if you do green onions, you're going to have food relatively fast. You will lose some of your harvest because you are taking just the leafy part off of the onions. Now, if you take a bit off, you should be okay and still get onions later in the season, but just keep that in mind that if you want to grow quick, then green onions will probably be your option. Another great option if you're wanting to grow a tomato is a cherry tomato. They're quite prolific, they're pretty fast, but they have to have warm weather. They're not going to do well if you're still getting frost. Another thing you can do if you're wanting to maximize your growth this year is to plant things like beans or peas quite close together, and then go and thin them out and save the bean and pea shoots, and then you can use those in your salads or whatever else. They're quite common in Chinese cuisine. So that's a great way to maximize what you're growing and get food now and later. Another tremendous thing is squash and zucchini, but you can only put these in if it's warm. These I think I put in 2 weeks ago and reseeded these ones. about 4 or 5 days ago, and they're already coming up. And these ones could go in the ground. I planted them early, so we're still expecting quite a bit of chilly weather. We're going to be in the 30s at some point this week with a chance of frost. So these are still in our greenhouse. As you can see, I need to repot these into something larger. They typically do not like their roots disturbed, so if you can, try to plant that, direct sow them. Or I was trying to give mine a head start before squash bugs moved in, but use like a paper pot or something that's going to degrade into the soil so that you don't have to worry about disturbing their roots. And that's pretty much it. I hope this video helped. Have a great day, and we will see you next time at the cottage. Bye!